YouTube. Your boy is back once again with another dating and relationships video. Alright, so the subject today is, should you date a female that earns more money than you? First of all, you could do what you want. But let's look at this. So we're going to talk about the dating part and relationships, you know? So the dating part, should you date a female that earns more money than you? Now, first of all, the short answer is yes, because first of all, majority of the time you don't know what a female earns before you start dating her. You might be able to gauge what she earns depending on how you met her. You know, you might have met her on a dating site. Like I've said in the past, I've never been on a dating site, so I don't know, but you know, a woman might have a salary in her profile or whatever, however them things work. But generally speaking, you won't know. You might be able to gauge, you know, you might know what job she does, whatever, and you can have a kind of have a gauge of the kind of salary. But as I always say, you should not be going into dating with having a plan of a full-blown relationship. There should be no woman that you say, I'm definitely, like, she's wife material, I'm definitely gonna wife her up before you even start dating her. You need to get to know her. So it may just end up in sex only, yeah, and end after 1 month, 3 months. So with that being said, dating is fine. Date a woman that earns more than you. What you need to make sure you do, or do not do, should I say, is overspend to try and match what you think she expects, or to try and match what you think is the level you should be spending at based on how much she earns or how much you perceive that she earns. Okay, who told me to do a video straight after lunch? Right, so go on dates with girls that earn more than you, whether you know for a fact they earn more than you or whether you assume they earn more than you. The main thing to do is spend within your means, yeah? Now, if you are unable to do that, then don't date her. But as long as you're spending within your means, take her on a date that you would with any other female. Yeah? Don't try to match what you think you should be spending based on what she earns or what you perceive she earns, because you're messing up yourself. And nothing is guaranteed with dating. The second date ain't guaranteed, sex ain't guaranteed, and if you are relationship minded, the relationship's not guaranteed, right? So you should not be going on a date with a female and overspending. You should have your budget. You know, you should not be overspending. So date women that you feel that you think earns more than you. And if she doesn't like the date, you take her on, then it's up to her whether she wants to come on the next date or not. Now, if based on experience, right, you feel that females that you perceive earn more than you, they hardly come on the second date based on where you take them, then yeah, that calculation, that educated thought, you know, you might decide, you know, based on the balance of probability, she probably won't come on the second date. Now, if that's your experience, then fine. But generally speaking, you shouldn't be putting yourself out of pocket to date a woman that you feel that earns more than you. You know, if you got the vibe, you know, she might be into you wherever she met you. You know what I'm saying? She might know what you do for a living already. Like, you might have your profile on your dating site, or, you know, you might be a DJ and she might have met you. She already knows you're a DJ, or she might have met you in your capacity of work. Yeah. So do not remember, I've always said this. Expensive dates is what a woman earns based on her commitment to you, what she does for you. You don't just go and blow hundreds of pounds or hundreds of dollars or hundreds of euros on a first date. The second date is never guaranteed, no matter how much she's into you. Trust me, It could be the hottest chick that you met in a nightclub. You met her, you know, she was whining on you, whatever, you exchanged numbers. Now you're going on a first date. Oh yeah, this girl's into me. Let me take her here. And the second date is never guaranteed. Yeah? If you watch enough of my content, you must know this by now. Anything can change. Anything can change. Her ex-boyfriend might come onto the scene. She might find something about you or perceive something new about you. It might not even be true. That puts her off you. Yeah? Know what I'm saying? On that first date, it might be some hormone thing. She might be in her period. Like the wind might change. The wind might change. Females can change their mind. So when you go on that date, whether it's the first date or the second date, right? The amount you spend should be an amount should be the amount that if she don't come to the second date, it's cool. I cut my losses from early. She's probably not going to sex me anyway, so I'm glad that she don't want to come on the next date. The money was nothing. You don't want to burn a hole in your pocket. So, but as long as you've got that discipline, then yes, date girls that earn more than you. Yeah? Because we're not trying to wife these girls straight away. We're trying to get to know them. Yeah? And we are men, so we do want sex. So you know what I'm saying? If sex happens before any relationship talk, then yeah, good for us. Like, unless you're some small percentage of a man that does not want, religion aside, I don't talk about religion. Religion aside, unless you're one of them small percentage of men that don't want to sex the girl before being in a relationship with them. But I'm talking about the real world here, yeah? Let's talk about relationships now. Should you be in a relationship with a female that earns more than you? Knowingly, no. Now, remember, nothing is 100%. So there are situations out there where, you know, a man and a woman are in a relationship. The woman earns more than the man, or even the man's a stay-at-home dad. They've got a child there, and then they live happily ever after. I've heard stories, and you've seen stories online. Obviously, some things are just some show thing for social media, and just because someone looks happy today, it don't mean they're going to be happy tomorrow or next year. But there are going to be the outliers. There are going to be people where the woman earns more than the man and they live happily ever after, or they've got children and the man is a stay-at-home dad and they live happily ever after. I'm happy for them, but that's not the majority of cases. Trust me, when your woman earns more than you, in most cases, sex may dry up. Now, come on, men. You know we don't want to be in a sexless relationship. What man wants to be in a sexless relationship? Or you may be getting sex, but it might be reduced sex, and it might also be chore sex. This is my boyfriend. He complains about having sex sometimes, and I'll give it to him. But it's not the same as in the beginning. You don't want that kind of sex. You don't, because when a woman earns more than you, naturally there's going to be things in her mind where she runs things. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got some real masculine men, and in a relationship with some real feminine women, the woman might earn more, but the man is still the leader. But trust me, when that woman earns more than you, conversations will come up. Whether you got kids or not. Do you know what? It's not so bad if you don't live together. If you don't live together, you haven't got kids together, and you have no financial ties, if it gets mad because she earns more than you, it's easy to cut off. Now, you know, men online will say, yeah, cut your woman off. Like, the deeper you are in a relationship, and if you got financial ties, you live together, you got financial commitments, you got kids together, it's not that easy to end the relationship. And it might not always be the best option. Yeah. So if you are just in a relationship and you don't live together, you don't have kids together, you don't have no financial ties, it may not be that bad. But again, just like I'm saying in the dating phase, do not overspend. Do not go mad on the spending. Yeah. Because you don't know when the relationship or the situationship or the, you know, the sexationship or whatever is gonna end. So you like, this is not a money channel, but you want to keep your money. You want to keep your money like you don't want to go broke for a female, yeah. And if you are in some raw, gutter at the bottom financial situation, you may not want to date at the moment. You may just want to, look at how you can get your money up. You may not want to date women, or you may want to go for girls that there's females that you can sex without going on a date with. I'm sure I made a video about that. Go back in history. But anyway, yeah. So you don't want to knowingly enter into a relationship, especially living with a girl or having a child with a girl that you want to be in a relationship with. Obviously, there's men out there that don't give a damn about paying their way or paying for their kids. I'm talking to the men that care. I'm talking to men that care. Like, you don't want to be living with a female, whether you got kids or not, but kids is going to make it even more challenging, or enter financial commitment. Because the thing is, here what the thing is now, yeah. Let's say you earn $40 a year, and your female earns $70. Did I say dollars? $30,000 a year, let's say, or $40,000 a year, and your woman earns $70,000 a year, right? And you're paying 50-50 for the bill, so she's got more surplus money. But then, and men, you should always pay for the dates, yeah, especially initially. We'll talk about that in another video, yeah, if I haven't done so already. But you should, so you're paying 50-50, and okay, let's put children involved, yeah? Let's make children involved. So you're paying for 50-50, yeah? She's paying for clothes and toys and stuff for the child that you're expected to reimburse 50% of. And then when you do get a chance to go on dates, you're paying for the dates. You may be getting yourself into debt by default, because you cannot match 50% of what she's earning, let alone take her on dates separately. And that's when the sex starts to dry up. That's when the sex starts to dry up. That's when the bass becomes heavy in her voice. That's when she becomes more of the boss. And you are going to get frustrated. Again, I'm talking about men that care. Men that don't care, they're not going to be bothered by this. I'm talking about men that care. Men that care about their kids. Men that care about their financial situation. Men that care about their future. Men that want to change their 30 grand a year into 60 grand a year. Men that want to change their 80 grand a year into a 6-figure salary, yeah? Men that want to elevate themselves, right? It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. So, just to summarize, dating girls that earn more than you, yes. Just don't overspend. If you don't like where you're taking her on a date, it's fine. There's other girls that do. Move on. Being in a relationship with a girl that you don't live with, no kids and no financial ties, borderline. But yeah, you can do that. The relationship will probably end if you don't get your money up. But if it's a sexy girl, she sexes you a lot, you enjoy the dates, it's fine. Not all relationships last. But living with a girl? No. Financial commitments? No. Children with? No. Or any combination of them? No. Unfortunately, you may find yourself in that situation. You may be in that situation already. So you just have to work on it. You have to work on getting up your money. You know what I'm saying? You have to, if it's a thing where you don't want to leave your female because you don't want to split up with the mother of your child because it's about the child, I understand. You just need to work on getting up your money. And then sometimes you're going to be in a situation where you used to earn more than your girl. She gets that raise at work. You know what I'm saying? And you might lose your job or be made redundant, and your next job you get is not a lot. So you might already be in that situation, or you might earn more than your female, but she then earns more than you. But you have to get out of it. It's not a nice situation to be in. Trust me. And yes, there are going to be situations that are outliers where the woman earns double the man, and it is a man that we're talking about, men that care, right? And the man is happy, the man stays at home with the kids, the man or whatever does, you know what I'm saying, more housework than a woman does. But no, a lot of people talk about men's mental health at the moment. Trust me, yeah, you don't want to get frustrated daily. Your girlfriend earning more money than you, or your missus, or your wife, or your fiance, whoever. It just is not the thing. So if you're not in that situation, do not put yourself in that situation. If you are in that situation and you don't want to leave your girl, maybe because you're married or you got kids together, whatever, you need to get yourself out of that situation. You need to put all your hobbies aside and you need to find a way to get out of that financial situation. Again, this is not a money channel, but you might need to do a side hustle or try to get that raise at work, or, you know what I'm saying, do something. Start a YouTube channel. Start talking about your situation. Make a YouTube channel like this. Start, try to get your money up. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, you can date women, and this is my advice, based on my opinions, my personal experience, my experience of knowing others, and external situations, right? Date girls that you know or perceive earn more, that you perceive earns more money than you. That's fine. Just be cautious about entering a relationship with them, and if you do not enter into any financial ties, buy no joint car. Do not move in with them, paying 50-50 rent, and think twice before you have condomless sex. Do you get it? All right, so I think I've hit the point home already. Yeah, this channel, again, we speak about dating and relationships in a general sense. Sometimes, like this video, the content is geared more towards men, but I do talk about general things. But man them out here are failing. Man them are not getting sex. Man them are getting frustrated in their situations. Listen, do not put yourself out of money, and do not waste your time on things that are not going to end well. Until next time, it's your boy P. See you on the next video.